Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining our webinar. Looks like a fantastic turnout. I'm Julie Wyatt on the business development team at Boss Solutions. What we'll cover in the next hour: how Abraham Baldwin Agricultural College is using an IT help desk to improve service delivery and user satisfaction across their organization. Service requests can easily be automated and built quickly to address client requirements. And lastly, answer your questions and do our gift card drawing. I'd like to introduce today's presenters, the CTO and CISO at Abraham Baldwin Agricultural College, Allen Saylor, and Vishu Nayagam, Director of Product Engineering at Boss Solutions. Few quick notes. Everyone will be muted during the presentation. Please submit your questions by using the question window anytime during the webinar, and we will answer all questions at the end of the presentation. The webinar is being recorded and will be sent to all participants. We will also be sending out a survey and appreciate your feedback. Before we begin, a little about Boss Solutions. We have over 25 years experience in service management. Our brilliantly simple software solutions: Boss Desk, ITEL Service Desk for the cloud, Boss Support Central, our on-premise version, and Boss 811, one-call ticket management solution for the damage prevention industry. Boss Solutions consistently exceeds industry standards with our award-winning technology. We've been named by Gartner as a frontrunner for the last 3 years. We are known for our excellent customer support. Our presentation today, Allen Saylor will present how an IT help desk can be used to provide and manage a wide range of services, how this was accomplished and show examples of services offered. And later, Vishu Nayagam will show how easily it is to create a service catalog, routing rules, and approvals with Boss Desk. And now what you've all been waiting for, Allen Saylor.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I am Allen Saylor. I am the CTO at Abraham Baldwin Agricultural College, and just kind of give you a little bit of an overview about our college. We are a member of the University System of Georgia. There's 26 other colleges in that organization, and we're currently supporting about 4,000 students, and they range from 155 of the Georgia's 159 counties. Also, we got students from 18 states and 24 different countries. Our employee base, counting our part-time, full-time, and student workers, are around 900. We are part of the Southern Association of Colleges, and not only is our home in Tifton, Georgia, which is South Georgia, but we also have 4 other sites that we support for instructional purposes. They're located around South Georgia as well: Bainbridge, Moultrie, Blakely, and Donaldsonville. But not only do we support those instructional sites, but we also support another location called the Georgia Museum of Agriculture, and we have a golf course that we also support. So, and just to kind of give you a little bit of background on the team, I am the Chief Technology Officer. Then I have basically a call center which has one call customer service expert. She's in charge of answering the phone calls and making sure that tickets get put in and stuff gets taken care of. I have one remote tech. She's in charge of remoting and accessing machines remotely to troubleshoot whatever needs to be troubleshooted. I have 2 techs on the Tifton site, which supports Tifton and Moultrie, and I have another tech down at our Bainbridge site that supports Bainbridge, Donaldson, and Blakely. So you're looking at 3 what we call techs that go out, a remote tech, and a customer service specialist tech. And so that's kind of just gives you a little bit of an overview about us and, kind of my department, and kind of to go over a little bit of, where we came from and why we came upon Boss Desk as our solution for our help desk. So we kind of looked at several different products. We had a product that was solely on-prem, and that product was, it worked okay, but it can only be accessed if you were on campus. If you were off campus, you couldn't access it, and that just did not work well for our remote users or even for our students. So that was not a good avenue for us. And then we had a couple of other products that they did various things, but they were so clunky and so just bad user experience. We had a lot of end users that didn't want to put in a ticket, hated a ticket, did not like putting them in because we had one form that you filled out, and that was pretty much all that you had. And so we was looking for a solution that was cloud-based, that everyone could access from any site, any location that we support, and the students could as well. And that's how we came across Boss Desk after searching for all over and kind of just seeing what we could find. And so we came upon them, said, well, we'll give it a try, we'll see what it is. We did a proof of concept, and it turned out to be really good for us. It turned out to be a great solution. As you can see on the screen right now, I got what's called, it's just a simple login screen. It's not a bunch of stuff out there for the user or gets confused to them. Welcome to ABAC Tech Support. You can either log in using your LDAP credentials or Active Directory. But another feature that we really love is the login using ABAC account, which this is our single sign-on. So it ties right into our single sign-on portal. So that is really great for us. And I've already signed in over here on another page, and I'll kind of pull that up. And once you sign in as a administrator or as a tech, you get this dashboard, which is to us one of the things we were missing in some of the other products. Don't get me wrong, they had a dashboard. It just kind of had a list of stuff, and you couldn't do much with it. What you got is what you got. And here, though, I can pretty much, pick and choose what I want on my dashboard. If I want to move it around, I can move it around. That's totally up to me. I can add additional widgets. So if you look at it, there's 57 different ones that you can add, dealing with tickets, problem changes, approvals, software contracts, site agents, users. And so I like this one for me. Being the CTO, it makes it really easy for me to come in here, look, see that I have 3 open tickets that I need to work on. There's 2 new tickets standing out there waiting for someone to pick them up and start working on them. I'm listed as no watchers on tickets, and we have 19 tickets that are assigned to users, and here are the users they're assigned to. And we kind of, in the department, and of course you'll notice there's more than the names that I listed, and I'll explain that a little bit here too. But we kind of fight to see who can either not be on the board or who's lowest at the bottom of the board. And so that's kind of a little thing that we try to get to at the end of the day. So that's one of the, but you can also add other stuff, and this is great because it's completely customizable, so every user can customize it the way they want to customize it. One of the other wonderful features is, like here, my open tickets. Instead of coming in here, having to do a filter or set up something, you just click the button, my open tickets, and there they are. And that is something that we've really enjoyed having. Looking at some of our other products, we really didn't have that. And so that was one of, from a tech side and an admin side, that's really great for us. But now looking at it from a user experience, let me flip over here. Here is one of our users. This is actually a student account. And so when you log into a student account, it actually looks like this. So you got my tickets, you got watch tickets, my approvals, new tickets, service catalog, and the knowledge base. And when you click on service catalog, you'll see what the students have access, or the request students have access to submit and put in. Now, I'm actually logged in as one of our student worker accounts, so they have access to a few of the additional items that some of your other ones would not. We look over here, and this is an employee account, And if you'll notice, they have access to a lot more. So that's another really great item that we really, really loved and enjoyed is depending on whether you're a student or you're a student worker or you're a part of the tech team or whatever your role may be, you can actually set it up in here to give access to certain reports or certain service catalogs. And this is one of the things that we really enjoyed. I mean, looking at this one here, we do a lot with Banner and giving access to Degree Works. And so when a user clicks on it, it comes up and it asks the information that we need to be able to complete this request. And that was one of the things that we had that was a big problem in some of the other ones that we used was we had one way to get the information in, or, you know, one way people could fill stuff in. And we were always questioning, you know, people's always, why do you need all this information? Do you really need all this information? And so then we started narrowing it down some and say, well, maybe we'll take some out. And then we'd go back and forth with the end user telling them, okay, well, can you please give us this? Can you give us this? Can you? And it just took a lot of going back and forth, and the end users were just not happy with it. And so that's where, you know, BossDesk really came in and really helped us a lot. From the admin side, if we come over here, this is the administrative from a tech, and we have a total of 24 requests that can be submitted. If we go down here to settings and actually come down to where we have the service catalog and all the different ones that we have out there, if you'll notice, everything looks real good and clean. And you say, let's say we need to make a new one. So we just click the new service request. And we come out here and we fill in a little bit of stuff, testing. The category we're going to put it to, let's say it's software. If you want a short description, give it a short description. You can give it a long description if you want to. You know, that's up to you. You can do some bolding, italics, underline. So you can pretty much dress it up however you want to dress it up. This is where your visibility comes into play, which is where you can select all users or pick your groups. And the good thing is the groups, this all pulls from Active Directory or your LDAP, whichever one you got it synced to. And you can see all the different groups that we have. So we can pretty much assign it to whoever we want to. If we pick agents only, then that is only going to assign it to agents only. Agents, you're going to see it in who's an agent. Well, agent is someone that's works for tech support and has administrative rights into the system. You can enable the form or disable it. This is one of the new features that's come out here recently, and that's another item that we've really enjoyed about BossDesk is they don't sit stale. I mean, they keep improving and keep coming up, you know, with new things, and they really listen to their end user, or you know, they really listen to us when we ask for feature requests. And before you had approval boards, which you had to kind of build those. But now you can do it based off the manager. So if you got in your Active Directory or your LDAP, if you have who the employee's manager is specified in there, it can actually pull from there and do you know, populate the manager and actually ask for approval. And this is where really great on some of our other ones when we're asking them to please update information on the website. Like if somebody wanted their title changed on the website, I don't want the website team to go out and change someone's title on the employee directory to call them super genius if it wasn't approved by their dean of the school. I would hope nobody would do that, but you know, you never know. So, but you have these other options here, auto assign tickets to certain areas. So, you know, you can assign it to be a phone ticket, accounts ticket, and this works really great in reporting for us. You can also, we got them listed as feedback, employee account requests, and technical requests, and all that ties into routing stuff or reports. So that's always was great for us because we're all about data and looking at stuff, and so that's one of the areas we really like to work on some stuff. But this is the part that's really was fantastic to me because, like I said, we've had 4 other help desk tools. And every one of them, either you had one form and then had to work with the company and pay the company to build you another form. It's one of them that we had. Or you had another one that we could build the form ourselves, but you built it in one area, And then on another area, you had to tell which each one of the boxes could do. And then in another area, you had to, do some other stuff. This is a simple drag and drop. So if you want a single line, you drag it out here, you drop it. You kind of put out here what you want its field to be called. You can pick if you want it full, going across the whole form, 3/4, 2/3, half, 1/3, or quarter. So let's just say quarter, and we're going to make it required. If we want to use this for routing purposes, so if we want to use this field and route it in case they was to put that there was an instructor, so therefore we want to assign all instructors to this agent, we can use that later. So we can click apply, there it is. Really simple, really easy. If you want to do a drop-down list, you drag that up here, you drop it in place. You kind of give it something here. Let's just say pick that, required. You can pick, fill it, and then you just type in what you want in your drop-down list. So we got item 1, and then we're just going to come down here. We're going to say item 2, and then you can add more, and it doesn't matter. You can then sort it by, alphabetical. So if you type them differently, that doesn't matter at all how you do it. So you don't have to worry about if you was to come and add something later, trying to get it positioned. Oh man, I want to keep it in alphabetical order, or I need to add this. You don't. And some of the programs that we had, once you've done it, you had to actually delete them out and then start re-adding them to get them in alphabetical order. So that's always been really great to have, is those kind of features. But as you can tell, it's just easy drag and drop. And that's one of the things that's really worked great for us. It's allowed us to really grow and to increase what we call our service catalog, to have everything that we have out there. And we have 24 requests. Looking at this one here, digital media service requests. Now, I mentioned earlier our tech team, and I kind of give you a little brief about it. Counting me, the tech team is a total of 6, counting myself. And we kind of started off with just that little group, 6 people. But then we started noticing it was so easy, and the end users liked it so much that we got to looking at our marketing team and our digital media team, and what can it work for them? And the conclusion we came to, it can work great for them. End users are already using it, they like it, so why not introduce it with additional teams? And so this is one of the requests that's out there for our digital media service requests. So if you want to, kind of have something going on, like you got an event, or you want, what best suits you, is it a promotional event? And so all these questions and everything was designed by that team. And it was just drag and drop and put it in. Made it simple, easy. And that's what really, to us, has made us so efficient. If we come out here back to the dashboard and you look, pull that back over there, you'll notice that 19 assigned tickets and 2 new tickets. So we're at 21 tickets. We, at one time, we were sitting at, an upper 45 tickets, stuff like that, and just trying to pound them out. And it just was, and that was not even having in the website team or any of the other teams. So that's because we got our network operations center in here, we got our system administrators in here, we got our website team in here, our digital media service team, our tech team, our programming team. And so we have several teams that are in here now, and we're only sitting at 21 tickets. And this time of the year, with it being, today was graduation and we had a lot of stuff going on, we would have a lot of tickets right now of a lot of people trying to get grades in or get stuff in, their machine's not working right. And so this time of the year, we'd have a lot of tickets and people moving offices starting next week, so they'd be start putting tickets in. So we would have a ton of tickets, and it's made the team so efficient that we've been able to kind of keep it down. And kind of just showing you how a ticket works. We go into the tickets here, look at a employee onboarding ticket. So let's click one of these and go in here to the onboarding ticket. And you got your basic information that was filled in about the employee, that kind of stuff. And then we got these little private messages, which are, you see the little padlock. So that's not visible to the requester, so the end user can't see it. And so this allows us to kind of talk back and forth with one another, because on a new account, sometimes they were a student, now they're becoming an employee. So we gotta look and see, are they registered for next semester? Can we convert their accounts? And this is one of the accounts that we could not convert right at the moment, but she's not coming. This person's not coming on board until 12/29. So we're able to put this one on hold, and this one is actually due to have a switchover on 12/17. So that's our due date. So that's when it's planned. It's assigned to me, so it's one of my tickets. So I need to kind of get this one swapped over. So that's made it really easy for us. Also, there's another little wonderful feature that we really like, especially amongst all of us, because you got a lot of people looking at tickets, a lot of tech support people looking at it, and you kind of want to always make sure you're saying the same thing to the end user. So you want to always make sure, hey, clear your cache, clear your cookies. So you want to make sure that everyone's giving that same type of information. So we have these canned responses that we've created. We don't have a ton of them, we have a few of them. But with the canned response, we can just come in here, like if you need to clear your cache and cookies, there's the answer. Click reply, it goes back out. If you did want to mark it visible only to people internally, that's how you would do it and add a private comment. Or you hit reply and it transmits out to the end user. And of course, another couple of other really good features that are in here, you have your task. So if each ticket needs individual tasks, you can add a task and assign people to complete that task. So if we needed somebody to come in here and we need to set up a remote session, it needed to be a software, I needed to assign it to our remote tech, I could put a due date on here. I at least got to give it a title. So I would say remote. And then I would click the save button, and then it would add a task, and then it would show up on her dashboard, our remote tech dashboard, letting her know that she has a task that she needs to complete. She would come in here, click it, more info, it can kind of give her some more information. She'd click edit, and she can save it and close the task, and it would actually mark the task as closed, and then we could proceed. I'm going to delete that task since it's on an active ticket. But you also got your approval. So if you wanted to come out here, and let's say you didn't set the approval up on the actual request, but now I looked up here and I'm like, ooh, they're asking for, let's say they was to ask for a phone or they asked for a computer, and I needed to find out, is the department purchasing it or are we going to have to supply it? I could simply come out here, request an approval, and I can come in here and I can, well, not approval boards, so we don't run those, but I can come out here and I can type in, let's see here, type in the user I want to get the approval from, and give a little bit more, and then actually see someone click it, and then I click submit. I don't want to click submit because when I do it, I'll actually send them an email telling them, hey, you need to go out here and approve this. But then you also got what we call the wonderful event log. So since Brianna is our remote tech and I assigned her that task, it would have sent her an email telling her that a task was assigned. She'd come out here to this ticket and be like, wait a minute, I don't see a task. She could come to the event log, she'd look in here, and she was like, okay, so task was added by Allen Saylor, me. This is what he typed in. He assigned it to me. It sent me a notification to my email. Then he removed it 2 minutes later. And then, of course, she's going to say he's playing around in the system. And so that's another thing that's really great. It keeps up with all the different stuff that every tech does, not just you. So here's where Sarah added her comments, and this is where Brianna had it. And so it keeps up with all that information, whether it's an update or an event. And so that's one thing that's been really great as well. If an end user says, well, no, so-and-so, I saw it on the ticket, you're like, are you sure? Yeah, I saw it. So then we can come into the event log and we can actually send it to them, say, no, that never happened in the ticket. I'm sorry, I don't really know what you saw. And, some of that stuff kind of can come up from time to time. And so this is one of the items that really come in handy if you have any of those type of issues. And so that's kind of a brief overview of kind of the tickets and stuff. I mean, there's there's tons of different things out here that this system can do. And that is one of the things that, we've really, really enjoyed and really liked is just the different things and learning more and more about the system. We've probably run the system about, I'd say, a little bit over a year. We did a proof of concept. And so we haven't been, running boss tests long, but we've had several other items. And so it's just been a blessing to have a tool that works really, really well for us. And so that's, kind of my overview and what I have. And, I know there's going to be some time for questions later. And I know there's going to be a few other options that they're fixing to go over with you and kind of explain some more things. But, later on, if you have any questions, just ask them. And I'm here to help and to answer any questions you have, because like I said, this is a fantastic tool, and it's really helped our department grow and helps other departments as well in our organization. Thank y'all for the time.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you so much. That was a wonderful presentation. My name is Vishu Nayagam. I'm the Director of Engineering, and I'm going to talk about some of the modules which are available for some of the other modules which are available in the product, and which Alan touched upon, some of the major features. So some of the things are like, so he explained how we can do the dashboard, and one of the things you can do on the dashboard, you can also do kind of like build your own widget in the dashboard, and you can customize to your based on what performance indicators you would like. So how we do it, like you just put in this widget, and then you can like customize this widget to your liking. I have one of those customized here. It is something like, oh, I want this one, this one, this one. So it's a combination of everything, and you can add any number of widgets, custom widgets onto the dashboard. And I'll give an extra presentation about the routing engine, service catalog and stuff. And also, we have something called routing engine or a workflow engine. So we call it routing engine. So what we can do is like any workflow you have in our organization, you will be able to automate that based on how the ticket is, how your requests are coming in. So you can just say if the category is this one, if the service category. So we have like a lot of conditions in here. So we look for those conditions on the ticket, and then take some actions on this. This condition could be like even the custom forms you develop. You can say the service request is coming from, let's say, a change request or an employee termination, and then you can say if I have something on that form which the employee filled up, or then I can take some actions and say they do this, do that, add watches, add task, add a comment, set some ticket fields, and route it accordingly, or ask for an approval. So these are like dynamic actions which can take place. Then we have something called monitors. The monitors are like, routing is like as soon as the ticket is created, monitors are something which like runs throughout the day and watches for some triggers on the ticket. So we call it monitors, and you look for triggers, and the triggers could be something changed on the ticket, or an extended status, or if you want to like move the ticket, for example, if the ticket is in like, let's say the ticket is in like days, sitting in this date, 2 days in this current status, and I want to move extended on hold for 2 days, then if you want to move the ticket out, so I'm looking for this trigger. If the extended status is 2 days, you match all these conditions. There are like tons of conditions here. You can match all these conditions here. Then you take some actions. There's like monitors. So we have routing, monitors. Alan explained about the service categories, catalog, canned responses. Then SLAs. So this service level agreement, since you are tied up with AD, you can create any number of service level agreements for your department. So boss desk can be used for multiple departments in your organization, be it like any department. You can bring all your department into one ITSM product and like boss desk, and you can have like different people can be on different bucket, and you can have like different SLAs for different teams or departments and everything. So let's say if I want to give a different group an SLA, for example, let's say if it's coming from a corporate, so I want to give them a different SLA. So I can say set up a different parameters for the response and resolve within. Now also I can exclude some targets from here. For example, I don't want to calculate SLA on an all on hold ticket, or I'm waiting on an external vendor ticket. So I can remove all those exemptions, and then I can escalate these tickets however I want, escalate to an agent team, to teams manager, or if it's not resolved, I can escalate to um, um, manager or something like that. So we have SLAs, and SLA can be configured for different people or different departments. So any part of the system is completely configurable. We also have satisfaction surveys, so you can actually send out a survey. These surveys can be designed, a lot of configuration options on the survey, how you want to send it, when do you want to send it, those kind of things. And you can customize your survey, and it will send it survey link to the end user. You can configure it to like every fifth ticket, every ticket, or every nth ticket, right? Something like that. So you can add tags to the system and add custom fields. This is one of the greatest features we have, like in custom fields, is like you can extend our software with your own defined fields. It looks in just as the default custom field on the product, right? You can add it to your asset, contract, vendor, ticket, problem, and change management also. Okay, extend fields. We do track location. We do asset management also. I will explain that in a bit. And we have like email to ticketing systems. So we call it Postboxes. So you can, what the Postbox is, like an email software endpoints. You don't have to create this email address in your Exchange server or Office 365. You can just create in Boss. It's just like 2 seconds to create this thing. Then you can plug this email. So this email address are publicly available. So anybody sends an email here, a ticket can be created and automated and routed and according to your needs. For example, like let's say I want all SolarWinds alerts and notification come to this email address. So, and then I can route it to my hardware team. So SolarWinds alerts, and so you can do like that. Notifications, you can completely customize your notification engine. How do you want to send it? Whom do you want to send it? When do you want to send it? Across all the modules and everything. And we do have knowledge base articles, knowledge base. So you can create your own knowledge base and publish this article. So when the end user sees the portal, they will see the end user get all the articles they are entitled to. So when you write an article, you have the option of like setting up which group of end users sees that. So you can say, I want only these department or this AD group to see my articles. So you can set it up like that. Okay. So, and also, I want to explain to you about the ticketing side of it. So we do have some problem management also and change management. So what is a problem management is like when you have like multiple tickets, you can roll them into one single problem. So the advantage of problem is like you can assign that problem. It's kind of like the master ticket. Some people call it parent-child ticket, or in the ITL world, it's a problem management. So, for example, I have a basic example here. So, okay, Ethernet has any problems. We can like document what are the business areas affected, what are the root cause. When you find a solution, all the underlying ticket gets the comments, and the underlying ticket gets commented on and closed on. We can update the end users using our commenting engine, and all these underlying ticket gets commented when you add a comment in here. So basically a single person is working on multiple tickets. Okay, that's a problem management. And similarly, we have change management. If you want to like document any changes in your organization, be it a hardware, software, process change, you can document all the changes in here. What was the reason? What is the risk? Rollout, back out, rollback strategy. Then we have like what are the tasks involved in that change, time approvals. We can link to our asset management and all the underlying tickets in here. And also you can extend the change management UI with adding your own custom fields option into it. Okay, that's change management. So now just let me touch upon a little bit on a very high level on like our asset management portion of it, CMDB, configuration management database. So we have a discovery agent which will discover everything on your network, hardware, software, and all those things. So once you have hardware, you can get all the inventory. You can barcode. You can use our mobile app to track all these things. We also pull inventory from Dell, HP, and Lenovo machines automatically from the vendors. You can add custom fields for your assets, notes, attachments. It is a complete inventory of the machine, and a link to other machines, all the tickets ever created on this machine, users, and we have contracts, softwares, all the software inventory on that machine. We have software management, so you can like do all the software inventory on the machines, contracts, vendors, and purchase order management, right? One other important thing, we have like a scheduling of tickets. So you could basically schedule tickets like a weekly ticket, monthly ticket, those kind of things. You can also schedule reports, whatever report you create here, you'll be able to schedule those reports automatically on a schedule basis. Okay, reporting engine in here. And one of the other feature is remote tools. So basically what the remote tools are like, it's very handy when you have like other software, when you have invested in other softwares, and you bring all the other softwares in here. So I can go and add a remote tool, and just as long as it runs on a command line, you'll be able to integrate that software into BossDesk. You just need to know the command and the arguments to pass for that software. Once you have done that and tested it, and then so all your technicians or who have access to the application can enable that tool by a simple right-click menu here. So you can bring in any tool you want, and as long as it runs on a command line, you'll be able to run it here. Okay, and just to touch upon the reports, we have like all the reports in here across different modules: asset management, ticket management, ticket summary, agent summary. You pick up a date range, how an agent did. So what is a slave violation across, and you get a complete set of results. Also, we have like, if you want more information, so we have an advanced search, so you can build your own search engine searches, and also save it and export it for this. And I see a lot of comments in here, so please add your comments, and we will try to address all those comments in the session itself. If we run out of time, we'll address it in an email. Thank you.
Wow, that was a lot of great information, gentlemen. We've got quite a few comments rolling in, and questions as well. So the first question I have is for Allen. And the question is, how long did it take your team to create your service catalog?
Yes, the service catalog. So, like I said, we've been in BossDesk for a little bit over a year or so doing it. And so we started out with just the basic ticket that just said, what is your request? And as those came in, we kept on looking and seeing what we can improve and how we can improve it, and what we can do to get the information that we want for the end user. So I would say, we're constantly improving, and even with our other teams. But we probably had a nice, I'd say 15 within the first couple of months. I mean, and it's just so easy. When we brought on the website team, they wanted 5 service requests. And I was actually sitting in the meeting with them, and they were talking about these requests, and they were typing them in this Word document. And as they were typing in the Word document, I was pulling them over and actually retyping what they were typing as they were typing it. And it was like, okay, so we're going to email these to you. You think you can do these for us? And I'm like, yeah, sure. When you need them by? And they were like, well, how about next week? I said, well, how about right now? And they said, well, and I pulled it up, showed it to them. They were like, I'm like, yeah, as you were typing, I was typing. I said, so any tweaks you want to do, we can do. And they like, I'm like, it's that simple. It's as simple as y'all making, as simple it is for y'all to make websites, it is for us to make these requests. So it doesn't take long at all. And that's what I love about one of the things I really, really love about the product is that it is so simple and so easy to make those requests. And that's what's allowed our team and the other teams that are using this with us so efficient. That allows us to be able to get a ticket, look at the ticket, have all the information we need, and complete the ticket, and really not have to go back and forth with the end user. And that's what it's really all about. And I mean, just the level of surveys we get, because we actually do surveys on every ticket. The surveys that come back, I mean, people are like, oh, this was great. Your team was really fast, really speedy. Appreciate everything y'all do. And they're just ecstatic. And, I'm ecstatic as well about it, because it's making my team look great. And so that's what it's really about. It's also allowed, like I said, just the efficiency, and it's reduced stress off of my employees. Every employee I have is less than a year old. Because we didn't have a system like this previously, I know for a fact I lost 2 techs from just the stress of the job and trying to get tickets completed, that we didn't have something and they just couldn't handle it, and people were getting mad and they were getting in trouble because they forgot something in the email or something like that there, so it didn't get done, and it just was a bad experience, and we lost really good techs due to that reason. But the ones we got now, I mean, they're ecstatic, and the workload is not that bad because they're able to just be efficient, and that's the main key. So, that was a lot for just one answer, but it's easy. And I mean, within a couple of months, we had most of it, and as team has come on board, it's been less than a month for them to get what they want.
I've got another question for Allen here. Do you at ABAC host your own LDAP server? If not, what provider do you use?
We actually have Active Directory, so we have multiple ADs. They're all the same. They're replicated throughout, and so yes, we hosted actually one on every site, 2 on the main site for a backup. But yes, we host our own.
Okay, I have another one here for Allen. What were the biggest problem you had to overcome to establishing your service catalog?
The biggest, yeah. So let's see here. Let's not look at it just as strictly as a service catalog. Let's look at it as just overcoming the whole ticketing system and getting the end users to use it. Like I said, we've went through multiple other vendors in the past, and the end user's experience has been horrible. And we had some that didn't always email out to stuff that needed to be emailed out. Sometimes the emails would just not go because something happened to the credentials in the SMTP or something like that, or the on-prem couldn't talk to the Exchange server. So we had those kind of issues, and getting the users to come into a new ticketing system and actually use it, that was one of the things that we was really fearful about, and with the getting the end users with the service catalog using it. So we started an approach of not saying nothing that we even had a new one. And as people would call us, we would answer their question, and we would say, not a problem. We're going to put a ticket in for you, and a technician will be with you really soon, and you'll receive an email here in just a few minutes as soon as I get this ticket in. And they were like, okay. And then they would get an email, and right behind that email, my customer service specialist, she would email them another email that says, you should have received a request. This is what it should have looked like. You should have that email. And in the future, if you'd like, you can, here are the directions on how to put in your own tickets, kind of type deal. And so she would do that. And as it came around, people just really started embracing it because they could get feedback. They could see stuff. We even use it. I use it for all the quotes. If you want to get a quote for a computer, you put in a ticket and your quote comes there, and the quote from the company is attached to your ticket. So anytime you want to look back and find an old quote or something, you don't have to look through email. You don't have to try to track that stuff down. It's all in the ticketing system. So that was really the big thing, was getting them end users back in. And the biggest problem is past experience, just the problems they had previously. That was our biggest hurdle. As far as the software goes, it is literally so simple to use that we spun it up as a proof of concept, and Boss Test worked with me on several things and gave me a little bit of training, but some of my new techs that came in, they picked it up and rolled and had no training. I mean, my remote tech, which builds pretty much all of the service catalog, I showed her kind of how to drag and drop one day. She's like, I got this. And that was the end of it. And within 2 days, she had built 6 more that they needed from just looking at past tickets. And so that's one of the great things. So the biggest problem is just end user awareness. And if you've got a bad ticketing system now, getting them to try this one. But once they try it, you won't have any issues, because we got users now, they don't call us. I mean, we get a couple of phone calls now, but compared to when we was getting calls while we were on the phone and having voicemails to check, that's not really happening anymore. And so it's been wonderful.
All right, we have another question for Allen. How did you sell the concept and or train your user base to use the new process?
Well, that's kind of somewhat of what I answered just then, but as far as training the end user, it was a one pager. I mean, it was literally one page of go to the website, log in, click service catalog, and complete the request. And that was, and we sent pictures, and it would all fit on one page. And we would do the first one for them, and then we would email behind that one and say, this is how you can do it yourself. And that's really it. And like I said, end users have really embraced it, and they've really enjoyed it. One of the other things I didn't show, but I should have showed, was in the service catalog, if you was to right click on the request button, you can actually copy the link from that, and you can paste that into an email and send that link for that request. So when the end users get that link and they click it, it takes them right to that request. That is also one of the features we really love, that, because I'm like, hey, thank you for emailing this to me, but can you complete this request real quick for me, and we'll make sure to get this taken care of for you. And I don't have to say, can you fill out this, and email me about this information. I email that to them. They log in, they fill it out, they hit submit, I process it, they're happy and tickled pink. And so from an end user training, most people can fill out an online form. And so I take in mind, sometimes people don't like to read, but keeping it simple and just making it what you want. And that's another reason why we build out so many requests, is because we don't want one request to catch all. We want them individually. That way we can ask the questions that we need, and only the questions that we need to complete that task to help that end user and be the most efficient. So from that, I think, like I said, it was easy, and it made it really great for us.
Okay, the next question is for Vishu. Is there a way to make fields required in a ticket or task within the ticket before it can be closed out?
Yeah, you can make the fields required. So just to show you here, so what we have is, as I said, the generic fields. Can you hear me okay? The generic fields, so some of the basic fields, you can just close the ticket. But let's say if I have a ticket and I'm trying to close the ticket without anything, it tells you, okay, there is no comments, there are open tasks, pending approval requests. So the process is built in a way that we don't impose a lot of restrictions on the technicians and stuff. We just let them know this is happening, but if they inform them, but if they still want to close it without any this thing, we let them do it. Then another thing is, for this custom fields, you have the option of all these other fields which we add. You have the option of adding your own validation here. For example, I have a ticket thing. So if I want this particular field, make it a required field, you have the option of making it a required field. So when you add a new custom field, let's add a new custom field, and I can say here, I have a text field here, a name, so I can make it a required field. So when the technician closes out the ticket, we expect some parameters in this one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we have another question, and it's for Alan. If you had to do it all over again, what would you have done differently?
It's going to sound kind of weird, but or corny, I guess.
Alan,
I had to do it all over again. It would be find boss desk sooner, because that's, I mean, that to me is it. I mean, I wish I'd have looked more and looked harder previously and before trying other products. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll admit to it. I kind of saw one product and I saw Boss Desk somewhat at the same time and everything. And I goofed up and picked the other product, which cost me, you know, a lot more money and time with the other product. And I was just not smart at all. And so, you know, do it all over again, they would have been definitely, you know, I wish I'd have did some more research and hadn't already kind of invested in talking to a company and kind of was already doing a proof of concept whenever my good buddy of mine said, hey, won't you look at this company? And my comment to him was, yeah, I know you sent that to me. I looked at it, but I'm already kind of going down the road with this one. Let me see what I can, let me check this company out. And I hadn't really, kind of purchased it yet. And so I could have backed out if I was in the middle of proof of concept. And I guess I should have just went ahead and did 2 proofs of concepts and compared them side by side. Because if I would have, we would have got this one straight out and we would have loved it. And I'd probably still have 2 technicians that I lost, 2 really good technicians that left me. I'd still have them on board. Because, I mean, just being efficient and having the tool that they can use and having our techs love the mobile app. They can go out, they got an app on their phone, so when they complete one ticket, they don't have to come back to the office to see what the next one is, or they don't have to carry it around, or they don't have to call back to the office. They can close that ticket right there on the spot. They can pull that, know where to go to next, head to the next location, fix what they need to fix there, and move on. And it's just made us that much more efficient. And that's been really great. And they get stopped sometime as they're walking across campus. Hey, can you come fix this? And they're like, well, yeah. And my biggest thing is make sure you get all tickets in. Well, with them, as they're walking with that end user, they can open the app and start creating a ticket right there and click save and have that ticket saved, go to it, fix it, clear it out, mark it as recorded as them. And then they have the ticket, where in the past they were trying to remember what they did before they got back to the office to put a ticket in, and most time they didn't. They normally just didn't put a ticket in. And we're really big on having those numbers to support us and say, this is what the team does. And so during evaluation time, it's really fantastic. And so do it all over again, I'd have picked this one first, and I would have took the time to do it.
Okay, thank you. And thank you for those questions and wonderful information, gentlemen. We're running a little low on time, so we're going to go ahead and do our gift card drawing. And given the name Chris Rivera has won the $50 gift card from Georgia Department of Education. Congratulations, Chris. I want to thank you, gentlemen, for all the great information you shared with us today. And thank you, everyone, for attending. Please remember to fill out your surveys and have a great afternoon.